I went to go see Wicked for Good the other night, my first night in Dallas. I went to go see that early Amazon fan screening, and it's quite good. It's not as good as the first one. The first hour of Wicked for Good is pretty stiff and fairly mechanical. Then it gets quite good in the second half of the film. So overall, I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. And now it's looking like it's going to have a pretty monstrous opening weekend. The first weekend of Wicked, the original Wicked film, I believe made around $112 million. Well, they're now forecasting that Wicked for Good is going to come in between what they're estimating right now, 125 up to $150 million. Now, if it can get near that top end of that and exceed it a little bit, it's possible that Wicked for Good could end up being the #1 opening weekend box office of the year so far. As we take a look at this little graph, looking at the opening weekends that we've had so far this year, see, How to Train Your Dragon is the #5 biggest opener at $84.6 million. The Fantastic Four is the 4th biggest opening at 117. Superman had the 3rd biggest opening at 125 million. And then Lilo and Stitch, which I believe is still the year's only billion-dollar film, made 146 million on its opening weekend. And there you see a Minecraft movie made 162. So if it can get to that 150, it'll be the 2nd biggest opening weekend. But if Wicked for Good can exceed it a little bit, like we've seen some films do recently, like remember Alien Predator, or Predator Badlands, exceeded its box office projections. If Wicked for Good can beat its projections by like $12 million, we're talking about it being the biggest opening of the year so far, which bodes very well for the overall box office. Now, again, I don't think this one is quite as good as the first one, and I think the critic scores kind of bear that out as well, but it's still a really fun movie to watch. But it gets really darker and more serious in the second half of the film, and I think people are going to walk away pretty happy with it, and it looks like the studio may walk away with a lot of money from it too. Anyway, Rob, I wasn't really quite sure how this one would do on its opening weekend, but it does look like, if the projections hold, that it's going to very handily exceed the opening weekend of the first one. How big can you see this being if it can become the biggest opening of the year? How significant is that or not? And then by the end of the day, how much box office do you think this movie makes overall?
Well, all good questions. I was never under the impression this was ever going to be anything other than a monster hit, because obviously, you've had the first movie, which has had time to play for a year, and people both young and old who didn't roll out to the theater would get to see this. And again, it's a film that I think caters to the female audience, which doesn't get a lot of films, especially like this. I mean, I used to joke that Titanic was Star Wars for chicks when I was younger. Well, this is truly a franchise that appeals to mothers and daughters, the same people that went and saw. I mean, I know Captain Marvel was in between Endgame or Infinity War and Endgame, but this
but so was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
That's true. But this film has a built-in. You've got the people that saw the play, you've got people that are discovering it for the first time, you've got Ariana Grande's audience. I mean, everything about this movie screams hit, and it's incredibly well executed. I mean, I obviously haven't seen this one, but I thought the first one was terrifically well executed. John Cho delivered an amazing, big-budget Hollywood musical epic, the likes of which used to drive Hollywood in, say, the 50s, 40s. It built Hollywood, and seeing something like this really mounted on such a grand scale, this screams hit. And so I would imagine, John, it would not surprise me to see this movie hit $1 billion. It really wouldn't, because it has a lot of runway. It has really, there's nothing really around it that's like it at all until you roll into Avatar. And it's got like a month. You've got the entire Thanksgiving break. So you're opening on a weekend. Thanksgiving comes next week, so people are off for school. This movie is going to be monstrously huge. It's going to be definitely coming off that really anemic October that theaters had. This is exactly the shot in the arm. And basically, it's going to get at least 10 days of people on vacation going to see this. People are going to see it multiple times. I'm really happy this movie's actually coming out when it is, because I think, look, I'll go. You know, who doesn't want to have an uplifting time at the movies? And this delivers. And I think that this movie is coming out right at the right time, man. We need this movie. The theater owners need this movie. Hell, the world needs this movie. So I think it's going to be a monster hit. I think people are going to go. I think people are going to have a great time. I think families are going to go. I think it's going to do monster business next week. And they are lucky they're putting it out when they're putting it out.
You know, to this whole perception that I also have that Wicked for Good is primarily like for the female audience and stuff like that. The screening I was at, without exaggeration, 80% male. Like, I'm not kidding. I remember look around and making note of that. It's like, I think maximum only about 20% of the audience there was female. And I don't have an explanation for that. I don't have any rationale for that. But I think, to your point, Rob, about this thing potentially being $1 billion film, I still don't think it'll be $1 billion film. But the fact that it even has that potential, I think it speaks to the fact that it is beyond just a movie for women. I think this, for some reason, this, franchise has appealed a lot to men as well. Again, remember, when I saw the first film, I wasn't expecting it. I thought it would be good. It's John M. Chu. The production value looks incredible. I thought it would be good. I did not think, and I wasn't ready for how much I was going to like it. And I think it may have caught a lot of men by surprise too, which could be the reason we're seeing a much bigger opening weekend for this one than we were for the last one. So we'll see how it all kind of pans out.
Just wait till you see the Wicked Labubu outfits that are coming out.
Oh,
yeah, dude. Professor Galway will tell you we've all been feminized. So that's why men are singing show tunes more than ever before.
Other than the 50s and 60s and
70s and
hey,
80s
man, when I was a
90s.
kid, I memorized the entirety of the Grease double album.
Dude, but Grease
I
was
was
a banger.
born
I
to
got
hand
chills.
jive.
Guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Zapier. You know, one of the biggest game changers of the past year has been AI. But let's be real, just talking about AI doesn't actually make your day any more productive. What does make it more productive is finding tools to put AI to work for you. And that's where Zapier comes in. Zapier is the easiest way to take AI and plug it directly into the apps and processes that you're already using every day. No IT bottlenecks, no complexity, just results. For me, it's been about saving time on repetitive stuff so I can focus on the work that matters and I actually enjoy. And it's not just me. Over 3.4 million companies are already using Zapier to streamline everything from sales and marketing to IT and HR. With their AI orchestration platform, you can connect top AI models like ChatGPT or Claude right into the apps you already use. So whether it's automatically enriching leads, coaching your sales team, or even resolving IT tickets, Zapier makes it simple. Guys, join the 3.4 million companies already automating with Zapier and transform how you work with Zapier and AI. Get started for free by visiting zapier.com/Campea. That's ZAPIER.com/Campea.
They're multiplying.
All right, guys.
Beauty
Question
school
is for
dropout.
you.
Rob, we've moved on.
What do you think about this? They're saying that this new Wicked for Good could peak up to $150 million or more. And if it does go a little bit more, we're talking about the biggest opening of the year so far. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.